For Comedy Hype News, I'm Dom Smith. When Atlanta first debuted in September 2016, reviews couldn't have been better. The show won 2 Emmys and 2 Golden Globes for its first season. When the second season was announced, fans were elated when director Hiro Murai compared it to Late Registration. We've kind of been comparing the season to a sophomore record from a new artist. Internally, we've drawn Kanye parallels. If the first season is College Dropout, this one is Late Registration. Before the second season premiered, it was announced that this season would be called Robbin season, as opposed to just season 2. In an interview for Vulture, Stephen Glover explained that Robbin season refers to a time right before the holidays where theft increases in Atlanta. Throughout the season, the robberies that are featured are both literal and metaphorical. People have gifts, have more stuff and money, you might get your package stolen off your front porch. While we were there, my neighbor got her car stolen from her driveway. It's a very tense and desperate time. Our characters are in a desperate transition from their old lives to where they're headed now. And Robbin season is a metaphor to where we are now. Darius also explains Robbin season in the first episode.
Robbin season. Everybody gotta eat.
The theme is everybody's gotta eat or be eaten. It's about taking desperate measures in order to survive. Every episode of the season features a robbery in some way, shape, or form. Here are all the robberies that take place in Atlanta Robbin season. The season premiere Alligator Man opens with a theme. What starts out as an attempt to pick up some weed from a fast food spot quickly turns into an armed robbery. Fast forward to the introduction of Willie, played by Cat Williams, who is accusing his girl of stealing $50 from him. Willie would turn out to be right after she confesses in a last attempt to get rid of the cops.
You lying ass bitch.
I knew it. Mama, I hate you.
Willie doesn't forgive her and she ends up walking out on him while Willie lets his alligator loose in order to distract the cops.
I'm sure it ain't lying to you. I'm the Alligator Man.
Sportin' Waves is another episode where the first scene contains a robbery. This time Al gets robbed by his own drug dealer. His dealer repeatedly tells Al that he's sorry for robbing him, demonstrating that this isn't something that he wants to do, but something that he has to do to survive.
Hey, yo, man. Hey, my fault, bro.
In that same episode, Earn gets $4,000. Tracy flips it to $8,000. Earn goes on a spending spree with that stolen money, while Tracy steals sneakers because the mall has a strict no-chase policy. In the episode Helen, Van takes Earn to a German festival outside the city. Van wants to use the weekend to spend time with Earn, but she ends up losing the relationship by the end of it. Van tells Earn that she's tired of being his accessory and expresses her desire to be in a committed relationship. Earn, on the other hand, is comfortable where he's at. In the end, Earn robs Van out of a relationship as she decides to move on and only keeps in contact with Earn when it comes to their daughter. Van also gets her phone stolen in the episode, demonstrating another literal robbery. Van's stolen phone just so happens to be part of the festivities, as everyone makes a game out of trying to find her phone. In the process, she comes to a realization about her relationship. Barbershop follows Al just trying to get a haircut, but he ends up getting robbed of his time by his barber Bibby, played by comedian Robert S. Powell III in his acting debut. According to IndieWire, Powell thought he was just going to be an extra, but was surprised when he found out that he had most of the dialogue. To top it all off, Powell found all this out just 2 hours before filming. I had a real-life panic attack. I let go of my manager who forgot to send me the script. I actually fired him. I fired my agency. I left because of this. I really thought it was unprofessional. I was thinking I was going to be an extra in a barbershop scene. How many jokes could I have on this show? This Golden Globe Emmy-winning show. I can't have that much of a say to begin with, seeing I'm not an actor and this is my first time acting. This is my first time being on a television set in my life. I can't have much to say. But maybe that's why my people didn't send it to me. First, Bibby's late to Al's appointment. Once he gets there, he quickly mentions a couple of Atlanta teenagers who broke into a T-Mobile and got away with about 100 phones. Bibby brings Al to his girl's house, makes Al help him steal lumber, they pick up Bibby's son after seeing him skip school, and they rear-end a woman. Bibby ends up stealing Al's entire day from him, and the only thing Paperboy wanted was to get a haircut. Teddy Perkins was the most talked about episode of the season. Darius tries to pick up a piano owned by famous musician Benny Hope. Darius ends up at a mansion where he meets Teddy Perkins, Benny's brother. In the end of the episode, Darius finds out Teddy's true intentions and gets robbed out of the piano, having to drive away with nothing. The story of Teddy Perkins has been compared to Michael Jackson. It's revealed that Teddy and Benny's father was very strict. Teddy says their father made them play piano 3 hours a day, twice a day, with exams on Sundays. And if they failed, they suffered physical punishment, sharing some of the same qualities as Joe Jackson. Teddy doesn't blame his father though. He says because of him, they were able to achieve success. His father always told them, great things come from great pain. It looks like both Teddy and Benny were robbed out of a childhood. Champagne Papi features Van and her friends at a New Year's Eve party at Drake's house. Besides Van getting robbed of a picture with the Six God, the episode also shows us how social media can rob us out of reality. Van is seen on Instagram looking at stories of Earn. She wants to have a really good time and get a picture with Drake, just so she can post it and seem like she's over Earn when she's really not.
What are y'all talking about?
You know what? I don't even care. I need a photo with Drake because my Instagram is weak as fuck.
There's a line in the mansion to take a picture with a cardboard cutout of Drake. Girls posted fake pictures of Drake the entire night, commenting on the desire to stunt, which has been a common theme that Atlanta has visited. Woods is where Al gets violently mugged. He also realizes that he's probably been robbing himself out of better opportunities by keeping Earn around as his manager. While hanging out with Sierra, she tells him of all the things he should be getting, but Earn is holding him back. All the tension that had been building up this season pays off in North of the Border, my favorite episode of the season. Earn robs himself out of a job after Al reaches the breaking point with Earn always trying to cut corners. He lets Earn know that he's looking for new managers, which speaks to Stephen Glover's own analysis of the season, where the characters are transitioning from their old lives to a new one. The girls that opened their dorm to Al, Earn, Darius, and Tracy destroyed their clothes, robbed Al of his weed and Earn's laptop. Lastly, Earn is robbed of whatever dignity he had left after getting his ass beat by Tracy. FUBU brings us to a time as kids where we all try to impress our friends. In the flashback episode, a middle school age Earn tries to stunt on his friends by rocking a FUBU shirt. He gets robbed of the opportunity to stunt when another student shows up with an identical shirt and it's discovered that one of them is fake. This is the second time this season where Earn is robbed of the chance to stunt on his friends. The first was in Moneybag Shorty, where no one accepts his $100 bill. FUBU also gives the audience an insight on Al and Earn's relationship. Al tells the kids in the school that Earn's shirt is real and the other is fake. Al's been looking out for Earn for a long time. In the end of the episode, Al's mother tells them to look out for each other, which explains Al's loyalty. The season finale is called Crabs in a Barrel, where Earn asks Darius if Al plans on firing him. He also tells Darius that his entire world is falling apart. This is after he gets a text from Van, telling him that she's thinking about moving back in with her mom, with their daughter. He's been robbed out of his relationship, job, and now has nowhere else to go. Desperation comes in at the airport when Earn realizes the gun he got from Willie is still in his bag. Earn ends up putting the gun in Clark County's bag, who then blames his own manager. On the plane, Al tells Earn that he saw him.
I saw what you did.
Niggas gonna do whatever they gotta do to survive, because they ain't got no choice. We ain't got no choice either. Robbing in order to survive, because at the end of the day, it's you versus them. Eat or be eaten. The characters this season have all demonstrated the survival of the fittest mentality, and that's what Robbin season is all about. Stay up to date with the latest news and comedy by subscribing here to our YouTube channel, and follow Comedy Hype across all social media. For Comedy Hype News, I'm Dom Smith.